don't come to me immediately. So I get it up.
Welcome to Toffee TV. It is live at 5. Everton versus Tottenham Hotspur this evening in the FA Cup 5th round. Can Everton make it through to the quarter-finals? Would be the first time since we got to the semi-final in 2016.
Yeah,
when
big
we played
game.
Chelsea in that quarter-final, didn't we?
Yeah, big run.
So big game tonight. Yeah, I'm positive. I think we can win this game. I think we can.
Yeah, I don't think I am positive. Don't get me wrong, but to be honest, I'm not really thinking about it. It's different when you're going, and if you were going home to go to match, you'd been thinking about it all day. But you kind of just like, oh yeah, game later.
8:15.
Just not quite the same, is it?
No.
What's it on? BT or something?
Isn't it? I think.
Is it that you've got it? But it's a great opportunity for us, as good a side as they are, and they are. It's a great opportunity for us to. I think what would be really nice for people was if Everton just turned up, done the job, and it was like a big hurdle that they've overcome. Because people are always like, oh, we'll bottle it, we'll do this, we'll do that. That's a big game, this, and if Everton can get past it, I think it'd be a tick in one of those things of like, you know, and then hopefully we'd get Bournemouth at home, which wouldn't be a walkover, but it's the kind of things you want, isn't it? Yeah. So fingers crossed that we can do it, because it's a huge thing.
Yeah.
And I think the more we do stuff like that and get over them things, I think the more people the collective will believe.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Because at the moment, I think there's too much of Everton that. I think there's still too much of it.
Yeah, but it's always going to be. You've got to do it first before people believe.
Yeah,
I think you can't necessarily ask people to believe in something if you're not showing it. And I think we've started to show it because we're winning away games, which is a really good sign. But the home games have been obviously a lot more difficult recently. So yeah, it's a case of just doing it like you've just said. Go out there and actually do it for once would be a huge step forward. And then you are getting, if you do get to the quarterfinals, then people will, you know, start believing. The players believe. I think the manager believes anyway. You know, we said in the press conference yesterday, he said it's about getting European football. That's what it's about. Move the team forward, move the club forward, and anything like that is you are breaking down those barriers. We spoke about it yesterday, didn't we? Saying about the idea of why people don't believe Everton won't finish in certain positions or don't give us the respect. It's because we always let ourselves down, or certainly we have since Martinez's first season. We finished 7th and got Europe with Koeman. But most people just don't take us seriously because we don't turn up enough. So,
I know. Before we go any further, I had a message in, an email in from Tony Farrell. It's a sad one really. His brother Alan passed away last week. He was only 48 in my age. Born in Wallasey and moved to Australia, and moved just after Everton had won the FA Cup with Paul Rideout. He was at Wembley. And sadly he leaves father Tony Senior, mother Rose, his brother Tony Junior and daughter Olivia. So obviously really sad news, Tony, and thoughts are with you at this time. And you never want to equate it, but it'd be lovely if imagine if Everton won like the FA Cup or something this year, and you know, that big boost, and cheer everybody up, you know, and especially for Alan. Hopefully Alan can will them on from, but yeah, really sad. So, you know, thoughts go out to you and your family at this difficult time. But thanks for watching, and thanks for getting in touch as well. So, you know, a few hours from kick-off. It'll be interesting to see, 3 hours to kick-off. Be interesting to see what Carlo does tonight. I mean, I've seen a lot of people saying, you know, the back four, Michael Keane, Yerry Mina's got to come back in, play Ben Godfrey at right back. You know, and then Holgate, where does Holgate go? Is he on the bench? Are we moving Godfrey from left back to centre back to right back? Yeah. I mean, what do you think the manager will do tonight with the team?
I think he'll bring Mina back.
At the expense of Keane, or do you think he'll play with Keane?
No, it's very difficult now to know. But
it is,
the manager has to look after his players, doesn't he? He has to look after his players. Fulham Sunday, City Wednesday, Liverpool Saturday. I know then it becomes one game a week most of the time. Obviously, we'll have to fit the Villa game in, and if we do get through tonight, we'll have to fit in whatever league game it is. I don't know. I haven't really looked at the fixtures, but at the moment, the next scheduled midweek game after Man City is Sheffield United, I think.
Right, yeah.
End of April, early May.
Tuesday night.
You know, and it is one game a week mostly. You know, the Aston Villa game will have to get fitted in. So this is, we get through this little difficult spell in terms of games, and obviously it's the tough games as well. It's going to be interesting to see how it settles down, but the manager has to look after the players. We've come, what I like is, I'm hoping, is that the decisions are made tactically, not. So does he look at Ben Godfrey and think, right, we need his pace at the back in terms of centre-back? Keane and Mina are our best two. The manager sort of hinted yesterday that, although he wants to win the cup, it's not the be-all and end-all. It's about the league.
Yeah. So
does that mean he's prioritising the Fulham game over this game?
Yeah.
Because we've got 3 league games then in a row, 2 home games and the derby. So is he? But then you look at those defenders, and you don't really. There's not loads between them, is there? I mean, it's not. You know what I mean? I do think. I don't. Whether people agree with me or not, I think there's a drop off when Seamus Coleman plays, but.
We'll have to see.
We'll have to see. But it wouldn't surprise me, bro, if he brought Seamus Coleman back tonight. Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me.
You don't know, do you? I mean, that's a good thing, because we've got no clue. Then Spurs, it'll be hard for Spurs to get.
And don't forget, Seamus Coleman was brilliant against Spurs first game of the season. Brilliant.
He was, yeah.
So,
we'll have to see.
It'll be very, very interesting.
Andy Young says, hello, fellas. How you doing? My prediction is a 3-1 win. Up the Toffies. Neil Lucas says, shame that Josh King is cup tied. Yeah, it is a shame. I mean, I've seen a couple of things this morning with that 4 changes for Everton tonight. A couple of sites had written about Josh King to come in on. It's like the most basic thing. If you're in Everton's, reading about Everton, you should be knowing who's available and who isn't, in terms of, especially something like that, which quite obviously played in the last round for Bournemouth. Adam Conroy, thanks for your video, Adam, by the way. Says, hey guys, how are we? How are you feeling about tonight's game? Well, we've kind of said, haven't we? It is what it is. I think we just go out, do our best and see where we are. I don't think you can overthink it.
No.
Because it's not going to be like as if we were all there. That'd be a bit.
Who knows what they'll play? Kane come back on Sunday and he might be like, they might be in the same boat. Mourinho might be like, well, we're already in one cup final.
Yeah, they've got the thingy, the League Cup.
They're in the League Cup final. He might be like, well, do you know what? I'll leave Kane out tonight.
Yeah.
Because we need him for whatever the weekend game is, and we can bring him on it. We'd have to look after him. Because they have to look after Kane, because you've seen the results when he doesn't play.
Without him, they're not the same side, nowhere near the same side.
So they have to look after him. So 2 games in 3 days after being out for a couple of weeks.
He said, didn't he, he'd have to look at him in training and see how he was, how he reacted to the ankle. That was in his press conference. I know you never believe what managers say, but it's going to be interesting. Jacob J says, hi lads. Benjamin Fairclough says, oh, hi, I have a 5 in a far-out voice. Chenlar says, damn it, second. Yeah, it was Adam Conroy today, I think, who was number 1. Adam had beat Benjamin. Interesting. Ethan says, all right, lads, predictions. It'll be a tight game, is about the only prediction I can give you. I think it'll be tight. And in 1 goal, we'll win it.
Well, we seen last night, the Man United game, how tight that was.
Yeah.
No one wanted to give an inch. No one wanted to get dragged out.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I suppose Moyes' tactics last night worked against them in the end, because I don't think West Ham had a shot on target. No. So
they don't go forward, but they're very well organised, aren't they? Chenlar says the reign of Benjamin being first is over. James Shorting says, how are we, lads? Up the shit out Soffies tonight. Joshua Byrne says, hi, lads, just wondering what you thought about Godfrey playing holding midfielder in a few games this season. From what I've seen of him, he's got the energy and the mobility that in some games we're crying out for. His ability to read the game, read the play, see the danger coming for me is something that not a lot of our younger players have just yet. I know that Tom has been improving rapidly, but a bit of rotation didn't hurt anyone. Loving the videos. Joshua, check out the Tuesday topic, because we did
a whole video on it yesterday.
Done a video on this, so if you haven't had the chance to watch that, check it out. But yeah, listen, he can play. I think he can play he's played 45 games, I think, in his career at the 6th role in defensive midfield, so I think he could easily play there. Michael says his man of the match tonight will be Richarlison. Big Jan says, evening all, on an important day, let's replicate 1995. AJ No says, we know Ned makes bad life choices, but I've got to say the worst of all has to be that he has an Xbox, not a PlayStation. He will never have that feeling of playing Uncharted or The Last of Us.
I keep switching, but my PS4 was knackered. It was absolutely shattered. And I already had an Xbox.
Hang on. You said to me before that the PS4, the fan had gone on it.
Well, it hadn't gone, but it was so loud.
So why didn't you just buy another fan?
Be arsed.
Or buy a can
hang on.
Or buy a can of compressed air.
Yeah,
I've already tried that.
So
I opened the whole thing up and cleaned it.
Hang on. So you've got a PS4, and you could have easily have just gone and got yourself a new fan. They don't cost loads of money. You could have got a YouTube video which teaches you how to take the fan out, and it would have fixed it, and you'd have a PS4.
Well, I've got an Xbox One anyway.
But Xboxes are for very small children.
I do
who don't believe in gaming. They believe in... I don't
meant
know
to
what
ask
you
you about
believe
this,
in.
by the way.
Pardon?
I've still got a PS3, which I'd love to play Last of Us on, but it's got the red bleep off.
Hang on.
And
We're going round in circles here, right? I'll repeat what I said originally. You could go and buy a fan and fix your PS4 like that, right? All right, you don't want to buy. You can't buy a PS5 at the moment. Whatever.
I don't think I would buy one.
No, that's fine. Listen, I'm not judging you for that. Listen, I'm not judging you for
I'd
that.
probably buy an
right?
Xbox
But
Series X.
you could easily just go and buy a fan for buttons, right? And fix it yourself, and have a PS4 and have your Xbox as well. Like, no one's taking your Xbox. That's safe. Taking that home with you.
True.
You've got your bendy bully. You've got your Xbox. You've got your bus fare home. Right?
Bendy bully.
Right? And if you bought a fan, you'd have a PS4 to play on The Last of Us 2. Not only Last of Us 1, Uncharted. It's all these...
You've made bad life
Spider-Man,
choices.
Spider-Man.
The Dairy Milk one was a shining light, but you have made bad
Do you know what the
life
problem with the
choices.
Xbox is? I'll say this quick. I've got a digital Xbox, which means where I can go buy a 360 game for 50p and play it on the Xbox One because they're backwards compatible.
Yeah.
£15.
It costs about...
£15.
For example, I bought the game for 25.
15 English pounds.
I know.
15 English pounds.
For a new fan.
For a fan.
And your PlayStation will be sorted.
For a PlayStation 4. 15
Sophie Gallagher
English
says,
pounds.
evening lads, I reckon we'll win 2-1, but potentially Coleman against Son worries me. We don't know whether Coleman's going to play yet, Soph, do we?
£27. You get 2 fans and you get the tools
he might play and be amazing.
That's on Amazon.
I'll probably blow the PlayStation up trying to
It's
put
one lead. It's all it is one lead. The made
You
to
plug
come
it out and plug it in.
It's a plug in and plug it out job.
Damien Hagan says that any word on James, is he okay to start? Don't know, Damien. It'll be a late decision, I believe. So, Joshua...
In fact, you can buy an external cooling kit, right? For £13. An external kit which
To be
plugs.
honest-
Well, you just buy a...
But it's £13.
To be
It
honest,
plugs
Baz,
onto
Yeah, but you just buy a brand new fan for 15.
be
No, but
fair-
this doesn't void your warranty though. That's what I'm saying.
To be fair, that's a good idea. I'll go buy a fan right now.
£13.
For a PlayStation I've not got.
Let's move on.
See what? Hang on.
We're
When
wasting
did you
time.
get rid of the PlayStation 4?
July.
Oh, you've ruined your own life.
I got £100 for
You
it.
ruined your own life. First
Not
it was
worth
the
it.
dairy milk, and now this.
Just
I don't know who you are anymore.
Phil Young says pepperoni pizzas or all topping pizzas.
How big is it?
I don't know. All of them,
I
Phil.
mean, you really wanted to change what I was talking about to talk
Well,
about that.
it's going on about PlayStation. I loved my PlayStation, but
have you
let's get some
seen
football done.
Have you seen
You talking about pizzas?
I know, because I thought there was more to it, but there isn't.
Have you seen the beans on Weetabix?
Yeah, I have. I don't want to talk
Weetabix
about that.
fan.
Thank you very
No,
much. I
no.
don't
Chris
wanna talk about
Richardson
it.
says Cold Feet FC. James Dunlop says, all right. Mikey John says, what do we do with Holgate for the future? Not set the world alight at right back and don't think he gets in at centre back at the moment.
I don't understand what that means, though.
I'm just asking you, in your opinion, what do you think the future holds for Mason Holgate?
Plays for Everton. No, well,
okay.
We've got to... No. We've got to get out of this way of thinking that players somehow are... It's bad that we have competition for places. It's the best thing in the world.
No, it is.
No, I know, but people won't get out their own way. It's this thing of like, oh, we've got competition for places. Oh, no, Mason Holgate's not playing. Oh, no, or he is playing. He is playing for a start, right? But if he wants to play for Everton Football Club, that means he's got to up his game and be better. Simple as that, right? And if he doesn't, then he'll find himself on the bench and then he'll find himself leaving the club.
Yeah.
Which means that he's not good enough for Everton Football Club, which means that we're in a no-lose position. But you've got to bring better players in, and that's what we've done with Ben Godfrey. Brought someone in who's hungry, and we'll push Mason Holgate for that place. Keane's level has gone up. Who'd have thought Michael Keane would have been this player? And now, you're like, a couple of weeks ago, you were like, oh, Keane's got to play every game. Now you're like, does he have to play every game?
Mina's got to come back.
Mina. Everyone was like, Mina's finished, he's gone or golden or something. Now Mina's our best centre-back, because he has been our best centre-back. He's reacted brilliantly. So now Holgate has to react. And then you're looking at Seamus Coleman going, can you react? And then you're looking at players bringing in, loads of talks about like Max Aarons. Max Aarons, if he came to Everton, would have to be like, you're gonna have to be good, lad. You're gonna have to be really good to get in this Everton team.
That's what you need.
That's what you need. And that's what you want.
Dick L says, hoping for a good result tonight. I'll be checking my phone. I fully expect us to win, but I think we need a big game from Richarlison. He's been off form for a while now. This is a big game, and we need our play. Why are you checking your phone, Dick? Have you not got... He might not have BT.
I can't cope with them.
He might not have BT.
His missus will be like, put your phone down.
I seen a post yesterday on Twitter saying, oh, what are we going to do Sunday, lads? The Valentine's Day. It's like, what are you on about? What are you on about? If you've got a missus...
She needs to
If you're not with a missus who doesn't let you watch the match on Sunday night, then you're with the wrong person.
Yeah.
You're with the wrong person.
Yeah.
Boy, girl, dog, door, whatever they represent themselves as, I don't really care, right? You're with the wrong one.
Okay. Eric Pirry says it is predicted 11 is Olsen in goal, Coleman, Mina, Keane, Dean, Decore, Gomez, Bernard, Sigurdsson, Richarlison, Dom. Fair enough.
Don't think he'll play Bernard.
I don't, not against these. These are physical and powerful. I can't see him playing. Robert Oldfield says King is cup side. He is.
Yeah.
He is. Andrew Donnelly said, with Low Kelso missing, do you not think James could be the difference in midfield? They will be like, lack a creative sting.
Low Kelso?
Lo Celso.
Doesn't even play for them anymore.
Does?
I thought he'd gone.
He's there, but he doesn't start.
I think he went back, Gedson Fernandes.
Oh, yeah. No, but he's not exactly the...
But he's who Mourinho has to like, as their creativity in midfield.
No wonder they're crap.
Exactly. Rob Dugan says, even the lads will beat these 3-1.
Fair enough, that's it.
Blues. Big T is in the comments.
Big T.
Says Josh King is cup side, Evan.
We know that.
I'd like to see. No, we saw he playing to Evan.
Yeah.
Like Bazard said numerous times, I'd really like to see Holgate in a holding role in midfield for the end of the season. Don't know if that'll happen though, because Alan is back. Tom's playing well. Carlos EFC says, oh, hi Toffies, what on earth is going on with the Saliba leaked video? I don't know, Carlos.
I haven't seen the Saliba video, and I don't want to see it, and I don't really care.
I just think it's mad that, I'm not going to comment on, but I just think that kind of thing is mad, that it's been filmed, but then it's out there.
I would say is, right, and I only know what you've told me about it, and I said about the rugby. I remember when I used to work on the trains, and there was a few fellas in there who were in the TA, right? And they used to tell me like stories of like, lads would be asleep and they'd get pictures simulating certain things, take the pictures and then, I mean, this was before social media, but then they'd take the pictures and the next day they'd just like leave the picture by the bed, and the lad would wake up with like, oh my God, and that was like a very, very army
initiation.
Not even initiation, just a very sort of laddie.
This is what we do.
Laddie thing that they did, and we've seen all these, you know.
Yeah.
Lads get very comfortable with each other when I think, especially football people, get very comfortable with each other. Because they're always sharing changing rooms and stuff. But I didn't think they got that comfortable. But fair play, each to their own.
Michael Hulfaker says, my kids are home from school because of snow, and I've booked 2 fake appointments on my work calendar to block time for the game. Please be good, Everton. Please be good. Up Carlos Toffee. See, Dickel. Michael should be in work. He's in America. Should be in work. Kids are there. He's got 2 appointments to make sure he can watch the match. Ben Armstrong says, is there a more pointless rule than players being cup-tied?
Yeah, you know what I do think about that, and I do think that it is a bit. I do think now that we've got transfer windows, I do think being cup-tied is nonsense. Yeah. I think if you buy a player in January and he's played he's played in the FA Cup, so what? It's stupid. It's not like the old days where the window shut in April.
And you can buy someone.
And you'd only have maybe the semi-final and the final.
But
like, do you know what I mean?
It's like buying someone to play in the Premier League when he's played the opening 2 games for his other club, isn't it? Or buying someone in January and going, well, he's already played for them, Do you
know the only rule I'd make? Genuinely, if you were going to do it, what I'd say would be, if you buy a player that had played against another certain team, you couldn't play them against them again. So if we so if we had Josh King, right, and Josh King had played against Spurs in round 3
for Bournemouth,
we couldn't play him tonight. Let's say that's the only
because he's appeared in the
competition against the same team. Okay. That's the only.
My only thing would be, and ironically, this would mean King is still cup-tied for this one, but would be that they missed the first cup game after they were signed. And I know some people mightn't like that, but that would then negate the fact that you're buying him for that cup game. I'm not saying Everton didn't buy Josh King for this FA Cup, quite clearly, because he's cup-tied. But you know what I mean? Say, like, if the window shuts and, like...
Well, don't forget when we bought Pienaar couldn't play because he played the last 10 minutes for Spurs.
7 minutes he was. Yeah. Redknapp brought him on.
So he couldn't play in the final because he played 7 minutes for Spurs. Semi-final, sorry. When we played Liverpool. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just mad.
You're buying a player.
I mean, don't get me wrong. In 1995, it worked perfectly for us because Earl Barrett couldn't play. And Matt Jackson could. So it worked for us in 1995. But in this day and age, when you've only got one window, then it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's mad. It is mad. And yet they allow teams to drop out the Champions League and go into another competition halfway through and think that that's perfectly normal.
Well, yeah, but Champions League, they've basically scrapped that, haven't they? Now? They've scrapped the cup tie thing, haven't they? In a certain way.
Yeah. Well, you never used to be able to appear for 2 teams.
Yeah.
Then they changed that you could drop out the Champions League but play in the Europa League because you were going down, but you couldn't. Or could you go up and you couldn't go down?
You could in the old system. You couldn't play in any European.
No, I know, but then they changed it, and I don't know which. I think it was
now
Champions
you can play
League
in the Europa League.
Now you can play in the Champions.
Now you can play in the Europe. Now you can play in the Champions League if you played in the Europa League. But I don't think you can do it the other way around.
The other way, yeah. And it's one of the ways, but you're right. They should just scrap it.
But you've only got one window.
No,
so it's mad.
It makes no difference, does it? Gareth Hughes says, "Oh, hi BT commentary team with Gomes and Hamesh to start." Andy Walker says, first one to mention Gabaman is a swunt. Gary Wards, yeah, that's nonsense, Gary. Evan Farrell says, also got to big up my local team, Wrexham, for getting a Ryan Reynolds takeover.
Right.
It's interesting, this one.
Can anyone really understand what the hell is going on with that?
What do you think about all?
See, I think, right, and I love Ryan Reynolds. I love Ryan Reynolds to bits, right? Well, I absolutely think he's just an amazing human being. Makes great films. Very funny man. I've loved him since he done Van Wilder, which is an incredible film. You've never watched Van Wilder, you need to watch it. Right. This has got to be some kind of, like, not scam. I'm not saying it's a scam, right, at all. But there must be something coming up in it. There must be a Netflix show out of it or something. Yeah. What did I say to you when Mark Light played in the cup for, was it Crawley?
Crawley, yeah.
And I was like, I bet you there's something out of this. Next day, I walked in and was like, yeah, he's got a show on the iPlayer, like follow me back into football, right? And I know a lot of people kicked off about that. Like now I'm not saying it's just weird that they decided to invest in Wrexham. Now, Wrexham...
Wasn't it because of someone?
No, maybe it is. Maybe I'm missing something. And I've got no problem with Wrexham. My uncle and my cousin are from Wrexham, and I always used to look out for their results. It seems.
I think what's happened is he's been on Twitter and he's seen, how about another Pilsner, baby? And he's gone, who does he support? Wrexham, let's buy them. Then he can have a bevy with bootlegger.
But there's like,
full bootlegger.
There's no real...
No, there's
what I mean is there's clearly like no
pathway to it.
It's not like gone, yeah, my family are all from Wrexham, or the other lad who's in Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's not come out and go, yeah, what it is me family had come from Wrexham, and like, and that's why there doesn't seem to be a link. Now, whether someone can tell me there's a link, tell me.
Oh yeah, Mitchell Bolton says they bought it for a documentary fed, and they've been pretty honest about it.
Oh, have they? Well, fair play to them.
I hadn't seen that, but fair enough.
They've already invested. They bought it yesterday, didn't they, officially? And they've already invested $2 million, which could get them
huge.
That could get them a whole team, right?
Huge.
And when we were growing up, Wrexham were a football league team. Yeah. Simple as Mickey Thomas smashing it in against Arsenal was like huge. The racecourse grounds used to have Wales used to play there all the time.
I played in a testimonial for Mickey Thomas in his testimonial year, in Wales.
I remember going to watch. I watched Everton in a friendly there. Rodrigo scored a penalty. Loads of Blues will have watched Wayne Rooney score his first Everton goal at Wrexham.
True.
When I was a kid, now also like
Wrexham was a boss.
Wrexham was, and also they got like a bit of a tasty firm as well. They always had a bit of a tasty firm. Wrexham.
Welsh tasty firm.
No, all the Welsh. All the Welsh.
Yeah. Go and play even down to Buckley. Go and have a game against Buckley.
I mean, we all know.
Well,
you know what, Buckley? Who they go up against? Shrewsbury.
If they rub noses with Billy's firm, then it's over, isn't it?
But like, so fair enough if they are, then fair enough. But they're putting money in, and they've just. I seen yesterday they had a picture of like, and they will get. The point being is, listen, the Wrexham, they're small. They did that. I think the idea of them ever getting to like the Premier League, they'd have to put ridiculous amount. I mean, look at Salford. But what they're gonna get is a ridiculous amount of publicity. When everything's short, when we're all about to have some kind of normality, I'm sure they'll come over and it will create great. And I imagine
documentary will be boss.
And I imagine they'll get themselves to the Football League.
With putting £2 million in, that goes a long way, mate. At that, you get the right players.
And if they get that back from
don't forget Wrexham used to get good crowds.
No, they do get good crowds.
The thing is, but what I mean is, if you get a bit of a buzz going about
Wrexham,
this, people will go.
Wrexham suffer from, like Wrexham. What's funny about Wrexham is North Wales, so it's foot big anyway. But Wrexham probably suffer from that thing where people who used to go will now rather go and watch the match, like Liverpool or Man United or Everton or whoever in the pub, rather than go and watch Wrexham.
Yeah,
but.
Regan Knowles says hello from Texas. Hello, Regan, up the Toffies. Johnny Ringo said, have you guys ever done anything?
Johnny Ringo?
Mark Goldbridge, United stand would be funny. You did something with the United stand? The preview for the...
Yeah,
either the league game or the cup.
It was the league game. It
wasn't Mark.
Wasn't Mark.
But we've done stuff. We've been with Mark at Sky, haven't we? And stuff we've done. We have met Mark.
Very softly spoken.
To be honest, I remember about 5 years ago, I was supposed to do something with him, and I remember saying to you, before he was really big.
Before Mark.
It was before he was really big.
Mark was
no, but it was Mark Goldbridge. He got in touch, going, will you do this preview with me, and set it all up, and he couldn't get the audio to work that is in, so he was in that studio thing.
Can't get the audio to work!
He was fuming, so it never happened.
I remember the United stand when it was just like a couple of local lads, and I think they got themselves a few good followers, and then Mark got involved. And I don't know whether Mark Goldbridge like bought it off them, and then like Flex got involved and a couple of other lads, and it's become this different thing. But I remember when it was the United stand was 3 lads in a bedroom, that kind of thing. And maybe he just come in and was like, I can elevate this, but Brent. Oh, hi, Brent.
Mikey John says, Baz, anyway, can you get an interview with Carlo or Marcel for us on here? Yes, Mikey, we'll sort that out. Mike Cosgrove says, I love the idea of Alan not playing holding midfield and allowed to play further up the pitch with a Gomez, Holgate or Davis sitting deeper. It'd have to be Davis or Holgate sitting deep. I don't think I'd trust Andre to sit as our defensive midfield player, given he can't he can't tackle, can he? Dan Z says his hammer's available. Don't know yet. Not sure, to be honest, mate. We'll know. I guess we'll know in a bit, won't we?
Would you start him if he was? I know he was in your start.
Would I?
Show.
Yes, I would start him tonight. And I'd have him on the right, cutting in, drifting in, because I think the way he opens the pitch up on the other side, I think it's key. And he's a match winner, isn't he? And I think maybe I seen him come on against West Ham and he had just come back after being injured. But he just couldn't, he was good, but he couldn't quite get into the game. I just wonder if he's one of them players that has to feel the speed of the game rather than affected as a substitute.
Sorry, I've just read something really horrendous.
Okay. So I would start him, Ned, yeah. If he's fit, I wouldn't take a chance on him. If he's touch and go, leave until Sunday. But if he's fit, he's all right and he's got through, I would start him.
Probably start King on Sunday and give it Charles.
Well, that's it. It's up to Josh King to be fit. You know, for Wobie's there as well, isn't he? King's got to get fit and sharp and ready for a start. But I think there will be some games this season where Everton have Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison and Josh King as a 3. Yeah. Definitely. I think we will see that. Because I think if Josh King gets up to full fitness, like full, speed and he's ready to go, that front 3 could be quite dangerous, I think. Really, but especially because King and Richarlison can switch wings as well. I think we could do some damage with that. And of course, King's, Torino came out yesterday and said they had a deal agreed with Josh King before Everton took him. So he's got to either prove he wants to stay at Everton by having a big end to the season or prove that he's worth a deal somewhere else. So I think he can do. I think that front 3 would be good. But yeah.
Someone just put there in the comments about Freedom being Wham's best song. Is that a Freedom?
Belter.
But isn't Freedom more George Michael, or is the two versions?
Wham, no, that was Freedom 90, George Michael's one. Freedom, I Don't Want Your Freedom is Wham, full Wham.
Okay, but okay.
That's a belter.
AJ, let us know which one it is.
Wormy Spoon says plug and play the fan, it's easy. Ned.
He's got rid of it. I mean, he did let us tell him all the tale and then go.
And then sort of,
well, I've sold it now, haven't I?
Told you ages ago.
I mean, we don't generally listen to a lot of things you say, Ned.
I don't think Di Davis
died, yeah, today.
Oh my God, I didn't even know.
Put it on the thing this morning, Twitter.
All right, I don't go on Twitter.
I woke up with a message from my nan saying your granddad's favourite goalkeepers.
Oh, poor Di done a thing with Everton website not that long ago, didn't he? Saying he's not scared of dying and all that. He's just living each day. That's really sad.
I didn't know he was terminal. Didn't know he had cancer.
Yeah, it's really sad. Sad day. Okay. Ginello says, I hope Tom Davis is watching Marco Verratti clips. Gareth Hughes says, Sunday's game is 7 o'clock on Valentine's Day. I reckon the chances of Dick L being allowed to watch this one are slim to none. More chance of him getting his George Foreman. Definitely, Gareth. Tom says, what inspired you fellas to start Toffee TV? Other media channels, national media channels, basically refusing to talk about Everton. There was nothing anywhere doing Everton stuff. It's something that I wanted to do in 2009 first, and then 2010, but it was just so difficult to do. But then obviously me and Ped started doing stuff in 2012 on the radio, and we done that, and we just, and then from there it was, let's get a camera in while we were doing that show, and it evolved from there. We had green screens in the studio, in the radio studio and everything, didn't we? And it just got bigger and bigger. So that was why, basically, because Everton were just ignored anywhere. You couldn't go anywhere to watch people talking about Everton other than to totally dismiss us. So that was the reason why. And ironically, it's still happening today, isn't it? With some people, but There you go. Jake Ablett says, hi, match day live at 5. I don't know. I normally want to go nuts, if we lose a match in the heat of the moment, but I don't expect a win tonight, so we have to keep positive and believe in the process, no matter what the result is. Well, that's right, isn't it? Just got to look at the bigger picture. I'm not going to tell people not to go nuts if we get beat. It's emotional at the end of the day, and it's an FA Cup 5th round. Win this, we're in the last 8. But sometimes the process is bigger than what you first see. But that being said, I still want us and hope and pray that we can get past them, because getting the last 8, anything can happen. George Doherty says, lads, is it just me, or are all our kickoffs really late all the time? They are. You end up hanging round all day for. See, I know you don't, but I like the half 12s because they're out the way. I don't like to sit and think about the game too much.
It is crap when it's like Sunday night. You're just knackered.
It's rubbish.
You're doing nothing all day, and you've got nothing.
What are you knackered from?
Being awake.
You get tired from being awake.
Working hard in uni. Sat in bed watching YouTube.
You need to drink more milk.
Keith Farrell says, hey lads and fellow blues, from my age it's rather sad that when I wake up and walk about I start singing Spirit of the Blues on match days. Only in my head, otherwise the missus will think I'm losing it. Gareth Hughes says, back in the day when I was fit, best stop-start running was lamppost running. Jog, reach a lamppost, run, reach a lamppost, sprint, reach a lamppost, then walk. Yeah. It's a good way of doing it. Big T says, Kevin Rex says, I think we can win the cup, but I'm torn. I'd love for us to get through tonight and win the cup, but I wouldn't want to win it when we can't celebrate it properly.
I would.
Hopefully COVID will be under control by then and we can cheer Carlo and the boys on Wembley.
I'd be quite happy to just win
and by May, mate, we'll be able to have a parade. So let's win it. Jake Ablett says, I'm 80% sure that Seamus Coleman starts tonight.
I mean, I can't discourage him in any way.
No. We won't know, will we? I mean, there's a chance he'll start, but then who knows? It depends what Carlo's thinking.
It might mean Dean won't, or Dean will start high.
Dean, he might. You see, the other thing is, he might play 4 centre backs, and Luca Dean might be on the left, and Richarlison might be on the right, mightn't he? Don't know. He could go. You know, you just don't know. I think Ped said before, you just don't know. I was doing the starting 11 yesterday, and it was like, hang on. What about him? Where's he gone up? And that's good. It's good other than just going, it'll be this 11 and we haven't got anything else. And, you know, what can we do and all that. It's good that you're thinking, I don't know.
Yeah, it's difficult. That's what you want. I mean, I just, like I said before, I don't see why people want or have an issue with, like, well, where are they going to, who cares? If they're not good enough, they're not good enough. Simple as that. You might have favourites. It's fun. You know, you might have favourites, but the minute...
See, I think Mason Holgate is good enough.
No, I know, but if he's not, then he has to become good enough.
I'm not wrong with that.
That's exactly what you need. You need players pushing each other. And if you suddenly find a player who's not in the team because someone is better than them, that's life.
That's the way it is.
That's just the way it is. We all have players that we liked that don't play. But I think we still have this fear that it's like, oh, if Mason Holgate's not playing, then he'll want to leave. I'm thinking, well, if he wants to leave, let him leave. Where's he going to go? Like, stop worrying. You know, the manager, we've got a manager who'll play his best team. And it's like when people panic when, they're playing really well. Oh, that might mean someone will come in for them. Well, so what? You know, if a player...
If it's that easy to get rid of your player. But what I mean is, if someone comes in for your player and he wants to go that quick, then he doesn't really want to be at your club anyway. You may as well make the money from it.
But if a player is playing really well, and it means that other teams are looking at him, then match their ambition. And if you don't...
I seen something funny on the thing saying, can Arsenal get Dominic Calvert-Lewin this summer? The London Independent had written it or something, and it was the only reason he probably won't be able to get him is they won't have enough money to get him off Everton. As if, like, Arsenal come in here and go, I'm going to go.
Do this with every...
Why on earth would Dominic Calvert-Lewin leave Everton to go to Arsenal?
But I've seen this with, like, Grealish and everyone for
Arsenal. I've seen it with Grealish,
Arsenal just think... funny enough, yesterday, because I'd done a video with 888 and basically just said, Saka was mentioned for Player of the Year, and I just said, I'm not being funny, right, but you just need to have a reality check. And this was with a Man United fan. And the stick I've got of Arsenal fans is incredible. He's been amazing, blah, blah. I was like, has he been amazing? Someone actually said, yeah, him and Foden have been amazing. I was like, I know Foden's been amazing. But Saka, just because he looks good for you, doesn't mean he's anywhere near being Player of the Year. And
he's a good player.
And then someone was like, all our players get disrespected. I'm like, mate, come try being an Everton fan if you want disrespect. I went, at the end of the day, when you're average, no one cares about you.
Who will be for you?
Play seasonal fat. Well, I said Grealish.
Surely it wasn't player You weren't talking about Saka for the overall player, did
Yeah,
you?
that's what I'm saying.
But you meant the young player?
No, for the actual player of the season, his name was brought into the conversation.
Saka,
The Arsenal.
the Arsenal
yeah.
number 7.
Yeah. Like, and I've had loads of abuse of Arsenal fans online about it.
James has been 3 times
That's what I
the
said.
player.
That's what
3
I
times
don't
the
think
player.
I didn't even mention Dom or James in terms of it because they're
James
not.
Has Saka
waltzed.
had a player in the month?
No.
Premier League. Fernandes has had 2.
So I said
there's
no,
one.
but in the end we all agreed that.
And Bruno Fernandes, miles with it.
But in the
I'd
end
say
we
Fernandes.
all agreed that probably Grealish should be in play here. But the one I actually said at the time,
Greer's brilliant.
the one I actually said,
underrated,
who I
isn't he?
think will be the player of the year is Ruben Diaz.
He's
Because
brilliant.
Ruben Diaz will prove to be the player of the year. He
It's-
will. But he's not sexy.
To me, it's who makes the biggest difference to their
Yeah.
team. Grealish has been fantastic and is fantastic. But Diaz has changed Man City from
in the end,
looking like the...
Stones has been just as
No,
good
but
as
I-
Diaz.
but
Stones has been good, but he's only good because Diaz
Yeah.
is
He's
brilliant.
not only he complements him, right? So Diaz will end
Yeah,
up,
I mean, he's not only been good.
Diaz
but
will
he's
end up
made them
being
look better, hasn't
the
he?
player of the year if City win the league.
Yeah.
Because he will have changed that City team like Van Dijk changed the Liverpool team.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely.
If you want to be like,
And yet people were questioning it.
if you want to be YouTubey, that's why I mentioned Grealish, and I think that's why because he is an attacking player, he's a forward player, that kind of thing. But when he mentioned Saka, I was just a bit like, I threw a couple of names in like Jack Harrison and people like that, just like had a great
keep them
season.
going, yeah.
No, had a great season, blah 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 blah. But then at the end when he was like, so Saka, and I was like, no, come on, there's got to be an adult in this conversation. There's got to be an adult here. No way on earth. I said he's had a few decent little games. And they're all the Arsenal, you never watch it and all. I'm like,
James Rodriguez has got 5 goals, 7 assists, and he's, whether you're interested in this or not, he's he's got the most pre-assists in the league, right? Which means that he's the person who plays the pass for the assist. So Saka's numbers don't match up anywhere near that.
But
So,
what I was saying
and
was,
James
though,
has turned Everton from a team that was 12th into a team that is fighting for the Champions League play. Whether we get
but
there
what
or
I
not,
was saying
irrelevant,
was,
but
as well, it's like, well, Foden's Man City top
Foden's
goal scorer,
incredible.
right?
Foden's brilliant.
Saka, how many games is Saka, like, if you're going to be play the year and you're going to play for a team like Arsenal, you have had to have won Arsenal all the points, every game.
You know what? He was better last season. Saka.
But he is a
He
good
had a strong
I know
second
he's a
half
good
of the
player and
season.
he's only a
He's
kid.
a good player,
He's a good player, but he's only a kid. But to even
No,
think
stop
that
it.
he would be played the year is
Let's move
just...
on.
Yeah,
That's
move on,
mental.
move
Let's
on.
move on. Keith Powell says, so sorry for your loss, Tony, sending you strength to you and yours at this difficult time. AJ No says, Ped, would you buy a Marvel VR game where you go through each movie playing the main character, and when it comes to the Avenger, you have a choice of who you play in what levels?
Yeah.
Would you like that as a game?
Yeah.
What Avenger would you choose?
Captain America is the best Avenger.
Okay, there you go. Sound?
Have you played the Marvel Avengers game that came out last year?
No, it looks awful.
Apparently it's terrible.
Yeah, that's why I didn't play it. Don't want to soil
I
my,
was going
my
to buy it,
feelings.
but I heard bad things.
Okay, Bradley Minoski says, hi Toffee TV, big game tonight, but if we show up and take our chances, I'm cautiously optimistic. It's all about being brave and playing a 90-minute... I'd argue with you, Bradley. I'd say it's about playing a 96-minute game, where Everton are concerned. We've done it before this year and we can do it again. Spot on, mate. I'm not looking at these going, we haven't got a chance. We can beat these, no problem. We've just got to focus, and I think we will. I'm more worried about Fulham on Sunday, only because of Everton's mindset. I don't think there'll be any issue with Everton's mindset tonight. None whatsoever. Obviously, you've got to keep Harry Kane quiet and Son because they are brilliant. But I think we'll be right on it tonight. Adam Lilford says, separate questions for Baz and Ped. Ped, what trainers do you wear for running?
Asics. I've just bought a new pair of Asics as well. Don't get, when you buy running trainers, right, don't get caught up in this like Adidas Nike thing with all the flashy stuff. Asics, Mizuno, there's a few other makes out there, Saucony. They make trainees for running, like proper trainees for running. Like, don't get caught up in this like, oh, I've got to have Nike Air Max, or no, not Nike Air Max, but you know,
Nike running.
yeah, just because yes, they do good stuff, but honestly, the Asics and stuff like that, they're made for running. They're made for running. So,
and his question, Baz, what's the script with the Wim Hof thing? Do you start with a warm shower, then go cold midway, or just straight cold? And what are the supposed benefits? Well, the benefits are really good. Basically, the benefits of a cold shower is to give your cardiovascular system exercise. And I don't just mean you can get exercise for it by going out and running. That obviously you can by going out and doing exercise, but it doesn't exercise all the tiny muscles in your cardiovascular system. You make them stronger by shock in your body, basically. And what you do is, you get a warm shower or your normal shower, and then he starts off with 15 seconds. The last 15 seconds, whack it on cold, and then stand under it, and it will hurt. It will hurt at first. It's like pins in your body. I've done 75 seconds this morning, which was the last 10-15 seconds were hard work. They really hurt. And I don't know whether I can do more than that at the moment because literally numb. But the electricity that you get when you get out the shower is incredible. You feel like amazing. And it's really good, loads of health benefits. But have a look go on YouTube. Just put Wim Hof. There's loads of stuff on it, mate. But he does a podcast called Under the Skin with Russell Brand. He's on Russell Brand, Under the Shin, I think it might be called, actually, with Russell Brand. But he explains loads on that. They're good watch. So go and have a look at it and see whether you're interested or you're not interested.
I went for a run in 0 degrees last night. That done both jobs. That done both jobs. Cold. It was very, very cold.
It was cold last night, mate. AJ No says Ned just needs to make that step from being a child to being a man by just buying a PS4, playing Uncharted, not just The Last of Us 1, but The Last of Us 2. It will change his life forever, make him a better man, and kickstart the making of better life choices. But do you think he's ready to make that step from child to man?
I don't think he is, and I'll tell you why. I don't know if he is now, but I'm just dead shocked that, I think as you get older, you do start, if the PS4 was broken, I think when you're young, you just do the thing of I'll get rid of that then.
Yeah.
Whereas as you get older, you start looking for those solutions. So, if it was making noise, I'd think, well, it's the fan. Well, I need to just replace the fan. And as you get older and, you start thinking about money better, you probably would have just gone, I'll get a fan, I'll sort this out. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just guidance. And I feel like the guidance has arrived. I think the ship is now sailing on smoother seas.
I think honestly, if it was a time where I was obviously gigging or working, which I normally would be, I'd just go, I'll buy a new PS4.
But why
don't? Buy a new console,
but why?
Or buy a new fan, obviously.
But why didn't you think at the time, I'll just buy a fan?
I just thought, I'll just cash in. Needed the cash, wasn't gigging.
But what did you need the cash for? An Xbox?
Yeah. No, I already had the Xbox for a couple of years. When the SAD came out.
You just sound like you've got no soul.
Yeah. So there you go. Big Jan says I'll play Godfrey at right back tonight. Then son can taxi home and he won't get any change from Godfrey. Don't say it before the game started, my God. Richie Dean says, Baz, where can I get the hoodie you wear, the Hummel one, blue one with the yellow trim? It's the training one, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
The warm up.
The Everton shop.
Hoodie, the Everton one. It's in the Everton shop.
And if it's not,
no, it was. It's not, is it?
Probably can't get it now.
No.
They might bring it back because they brought the old ones back now. Don't they?
Just keep looking for it, mate.
We basically got it on the day it came out. So.
Yeah, that's it. And people have jumped on it, but it'll probably come back, I imagine. Jay Fearon says I was parked next to Ifan Williams the other day. Trailer the other day and instantly heard it. Ryan Reynolds' voice. The video was dynamite market. Gaz EFC says, evening lads, I didn't get a notification from Patron, but never mind, feeling optimistic about tonight, think we've got a good chance of getting through. Oh, Bradley's literally given me an essay here. Lads, I want to talk about Everton and their standing with the press because it never goes away with the fan base. I don't see why we even care, because the fact that all of the pundits back, Neville, Carragher, Keane and Misha Richards are garbage and have zero credibility with me, even when they were qualifying for Europe or at least around the goalposts were always moved or we were simply forgotten. Fact of the matter is Everton challenging for anything disrupts the media's narrative because we're not a club with sexy players, we're not clickbait, nor are we a fan base that's consumed Sky and BT, so there's no reason to talk about us even when we do push on. The media isn't about spreading the truth but more spreading their version of the truth that will get them hits and ratings. I know personally because here in America whose sports media is very much like yours. I support 2 teams that have won championships in the past 15 years and regularly qualify for the playoffs. The Pittsburgh Penguins and Pittsburgh Steelers are constantly forgotten because Pittsburgh isn't LA or New York, nor do we have stars that drive excitement, so there's no reason to ever talk about us. Meanwhile, the Dallas Cowboys, a team that's done jack squat in 25 years, are always talked about on Fox Sports or ESPN because they're the team with the biggest fan base and brands. Chicago Cubs went over 100 years without winning a World Series and had decades of futility, yet were always the top story in the press, even when they didn't come close to deserving it, because they play in the biggest cities in the country with the biggest fan base in the world and are a brand, win or lose. ESPN is a lot like Sky, where they push the same handful of teams. Basically just goes on and says, don't worry. Just
at the end of the day, what you've just heard there, you've just said is exactly what it's like. I mean, you've just said it yourself. The simple facts are, someone like the Dallas Cowboys, who charge $100 for car parking a game, who have a stadium that's worth $1.2 billion or whatever it is. You just said it yourself. They have loads of fans. Therefore, it's like any market now. News is like any market now. Funny enough, if you watch Anchorman 2, it explains it really, really well. And it takes the mickey out of it, explains it really, really well. If you have 24-hour rolling news, whether it's sports or news, you have to fill it with something.
Yeah, yeah.
And you fill it with crap. And what we've seen in the last few years is all news channels care about now is ratings.
Yeah.
They don't care about telling the news.
No.
They care about ratings.
Yeah.
Right? So therefore, if you've got a channel that shows Liverpool, Manchester United, over in America shows Dallas, shows the Lakers, shows whoever else, you know what you're getting, and you know why you're getting it, because they have all the fans watching and will pick up anything. We know what Liverpool are like. We know what Man United are. That's why Liverpool and Man United have like 5 watch-alongs, because there's people to watch them. Whereas Everton and Pittsburgh and all these little, all these other markets, we don't have the fans, or our fans don't watch them because they say, oh, what's the point watching that when we already know what your opinion of it is going to be. Yeah. So
fair enough.
That's it. And therefore it's why when our game was on Saturday night, we had Gary Neville commentating, saying in the commentary, I obviously don't want Everton to win this match. And then we have Carragher at Liverpool's game on Sunday doing Liverpool versus Man City
moaning
and going, when the keeper kicks it out. How's that fair?
It's a joke.
How's that fair?
Right. Tom Collingwood,
go on, I was supposed to do that.
Says, thank you very much, Tom, for your super chat. Says, Tottenham fan here, how do you guys rate Josie's season so far at Spurs? And how do you think we can do better? And do you think we'll make top 4?
Well, I thought you were doing really, really well. Like, I tipped you Spurs early on for a good run at the league. And I think the likes of the Arsenal game at home were perfect validation of that. Winning the game ugly, looking like you were in complete control. And then, I don't know whether it's Kane getting injured. I mean, that will be part of it. But somewhere, the wheels have come off. And Mourinho's done that thing where Mourinho sort of goes ultra Mourinho.
Yeah.
Where he forgets you have to score goals in the game to win them. And he's lost that balance. And it might be just Kane going out, or not having a like-for-like Kane, or not being able to, teams have the thing where when it's their first 11, their best 11, everything goes great for them. But you get some teams that they lose a couple of players and everything looks completely different. So Spurs have the issue where, obviously, if Kane's not playing, they've got no one like him. Players that maybe come in straight and will say to everyone's like, that's amazing. The kid who plays left back and things like that.
Regular.
And then maybe they drop off a little bit because there's a lot of games and the weather. Things haven't happened. Bale, it hasn't really happened, has it? He scored the odd goal, but it hasn't really quite happened. I don't want to say too much, but you know what I mean, don't you? He looks like he'll go back at the end of the season. And that's it. I know, but I still think it's the balancing act of Mourinho. I heard saying the other day, the guy on Talk Sport, Paul Hawksby, I think's great actually.
Yeah, he is great.
Just wish he didn't make for Talk Sport. He's a Spurs fan, and he was just like, the game against Chelsea was one of the worst games he'd ever seen, and he said if there'd been fans in that crowd, if there'd been a crowd, he said he probably would have already started, they would have started turning on each other already, Mourinho against the fans against Mourinho. He said, so it's probably a good job there's no fans there. I think everything's going the right way, but problem with Spurs is, and Mourinho is a 2 to 3 season manager. And I think Spurs will need longer than that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't come from the manager. That becomes from when they were good, they had to buy players earlier so that when those older players left, who have left now or are on the way out, you already had that recycling situation.
Yeah.
And I think what happened last season was you went through that bit where older players start getting stale and they had no younger players to come, or some other players to come in and take their place. That crossover, that what Man United were the best. Ferguson was the best at the crossover. And that's where City lost out last season because they didn't do that, especially with company. And I think that's where Spurs went wrong, and that takes time, but that takes money. And it's like, that's the problem now. Wenger used to do brilliantly before he had the Emirates. And when the Emirates came and you had to start paying for the Emirates, he couldn't get the crossover. So I think Spurs are in a good position. I just think that it's hard as well when you've waited ages for a trophy. You get to, like I say, you get to a Champions League final and then it's almost like taken away from you and you have to start again because that's when the impatience starts getting there. We've seen that in the last few years. But they're very good side, very good side.
Spurs are a good side. They've got a good mix. Mourinho's a good manager. I just wonder whether all of the players buy into it all the time. I think a lot of them want to be more free-flowing.
It's hard, isn't it?
You know,
especially after having Pochettino.
And having Pochettino, where they were full of energy and would break on you and they looked...
But that was hard work as well, though, wasn't it?
So it's difficult to know, Dom. I think the top 4, I don't know, is the real answer, Dom, because people speak about us for the top 4. We talk about it and go, well, if we keep winning games, we will be in with the shout of it. But I don't know is the real answer, but I expect Spurs to get into Europe.
Spurs have to manage Kane really well now. I think that starts with tonight by not playing him.
Yeah, don't play Kane tonight. Have a rest. You're in one final.
Yeah, you've got to manage Kane properly, so don't play him tonight. That's the best.
Win the you're in the Europa League as well.
Yeah.
So really, you want to maybe just concentrate on that.
Yeah, there's no need for
the FA Cup. Let us win that.
It's a distraction.
Yeah, you're in a final and you can win the Europa League. Don't worry about the rest.
All eggs in one basket. This is not the basket.
The FA Cup basket.
This is not the basket.
But nice one, Dom. Good luck, mate.
Not tonight.
Not tonight, but for the rest of the season.
City are winning 1-0 at Swansea. Kyle Walker.
Took long, didn't it?
30 minutes.
Okay, fair enough. Daniel Higgins says, you boys seen Josie's press conference about Carlo? It's unreal the things he said about. Yeah, Carlo was very complimentary of him as well. But he's right though, isn't he? Got a manager that's come to Everton and he's not come here just to mess about, has he? He hasn't come here to go, oh, well, we'll see what happens. I'll just enjoy my time. He's come here to win stuff, to try to build Everton into a team that could win something, because that'd be great for his CV as well. But great for him because he wants to get his hands on something. And you've seen the impact he's had in just over 12 months and where the team is and where the team's going. So if Everton continue to back him, we continue to buy into it as a fan base. And we continue to buy players to improve.
If we can get the stadium,
situation,
done, which rumours that in the next couple of weeks, that's going to be...
going to be very interesting, very interesting indeed. Mike Donald says, Baz, what game you playing on the PlayStation now? I'm playing Valhalla, which is obviously an Assassin's Creed. It's really good, really enjoying it. And PES, of course.
Have you played like Red Dead on that yet? On your PS5?
No, because I've got a digital version, haven't I? So I'd have to
what?
Like buy the game or something. So.
I thought it just transferred over.
No, you need the disc, don't you, to start it. Any game you've had transfers over, but the disc doesn't.
I'm definitely not buying it. I'm definitely not buying them on them then.
No. It's gone off there. Is Requelme available tonight? Late fitness test, I think. Where are we? Yeah, I've read all that. I've read that. People talking about streams. Where are we? AJ No says, I listen to Everything She Wants by Wham. Absolutely class, but afraid to say it doesn't beat Freedom. I'm shocked no one mentioned it. You must know Freedom.
I don't remember the original Wham version.
I don't want your freedom.
Oh, that's not a chance on
it.
it.
Belter song.
But it's not better than...
No,
behave
Club
yourself.
Tropicana.
But that is a
Club
belter
Tropicana
song.
for me.
Which?
Club Tropicana.
Oh, Club Tropicana is a holiday
reminds-
song. It's a perfect.
You've not
Reminds me of
listened to
holiday
Everything
song.
She Wants.
Everything She Wants is brilliant.
It's
a classic
grown
song.
up. It's what basically. It's what it's what he's singing in that is basically. I would buy a fan for my PS4.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying in the. But you're not interested.
To be
in
honest
I don't
though,
have a
the
PS4.
girl he's singing about in that, everything, it sounds like Dick Hell's missus. Think of the words.
Hang on. Think of what you've just said. The girl.
Who he's singing about, sounds like Dick Hell's
The
missus.
girl.
The woman.
The
whatever.
girl. Who wrote the song?
Oh, I know, but
George Michael. So it's not going to be a girl,
I
is it?
guess she must have told. It literally says
Well, he will have
she.
changed the words.
Well,
because
he
of
was
the time.
talking. He wrote it
He
about.
changed the words because of the time. It wasn't out, was it? I mean, it didn't even come out till...
Hang on. Guess a marriage wasn't give and take. Will you show me you can take it? Got some giving to do. And now you tell me.
to the words.
Now you tell me that you're having my baby. I tell you that I'm happy if you want me to. I mean, I know times have changed, but I must have been asleep when men could have children.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I know I watched Schwarzenegger and I've seen it,
I've never seen it.
but
No, I know.
so,
Oh,
yeah. So
twins.
again, you've just
But
done
clearly,
yourself.
he's just manipulated the words.
And threw the baby in there as well.
He's someone buying a dog or a cat.
Phil McCauley says, "Hi guys, it's just me, but would love a bit of karma on Sun tonight. I'd get sent off, slip and pull a groin, can't stand them. I just want us to beat them, Phil. That'll be enough for me. Beat them, and that's the karma for him, isn't it?
Somebody tell me.
Won't you tell me?
I want money.
To give you money. Oh! Samuel Azu says, cheers from Colombia. Hello, hola Samuel. Where are we?
Harry O'Brien is saying you can find the digital version in the store and download it on the PS5 for free if you own the PS4 version. Yes, but what Baz was saying is that he owned the physical copy.
Yeah,
so how
could I prove it?
How could he prove it that he's
Tell me, because if
Take
you
it-
do, I will do it.
Take it to... Actually, it'll be shut, but when they're open, take it to games, say, look,
Well,
I've
there
got
should be,
this,
to be
just
fair
thought-
though.
No, there should be.
a way because you have bought it. So there
No, I
should
know.
be a way,
Should
or like
be
a
a way,
code or something that says to them, I've bought this game, lad.
Yeah.
Sort it out right now.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree, mate. I totally agree. Mr. Hines says, Baz for Masked Singer.
Oh,
The
why?
Masked Singer.
But
Richard-
you just ruined it.
yeah, because now you'd know. Well, I wouldn't sing that song.
She's been binned, hasn't she?
What would you...
I don't watch him, mate.
No,
What?
but Tingy's been binned for me. Yeah, but Tingy's. We said Aura's on it, she's been binned, hasn't she?
Oh, well, for having parties and being a knobhead.
What would you dress? What would you dress Baz as on Masked Singer?
A giant
Leprechaun.
dolphin.
What about a big pizza?
Richard Folk says Everton are going to win tonight. Whoever the captain is that day is going to lift the cup. Won't be watching live tonight, boys, but just wanted to say to all the YouTube lot, get on Patreon. It's amazing. Costs nothing really. It's more like an exclusive Everton community within a community.
Discord.
The mighty Toffee TV.
You get Discord
Cheers,
as well.
Richard. Thank you very
What
much.
about
for
the
your comments.
Predictor League as
You
well?
get Discord with
You
the
do get
Predictor League
Discord.
and Fantasy Football League in it, I think. Not that I play either.
And you get the you send your videos in and
Yeah.
you get all sorts. But
And you
listen,
get
it's up to everybody.
exclusive podcast as well.
It's up to everybody, their decision. Danny Monarchs says, reckon we will see the 4 centre-backs along the back again tonight. Can't imagine Carlo was happy conceding 3 at the weekend. One thing I would say, download the Last Fan Standing app. It's
Oh, yeah.
free, it's on Android, it's on Apple. It's an Everton quizzes on it. We do the quizzes for
We
it.
do 2 quizzes a week
yeah,
and a
and
predictor.
predictor for the game. So get on it, it's free. Play, get on it. Do it. I don't know, Danny. Possibly he will go back to that. Keith Powell says having options for both tactical setup and also players who can adapt also makes the opposition unsure of how we are going to play.
Harry! Go on, sorry.
And therefore gives us an advantage from the start. Choice is something that makes us unpredictable.
Harry, Baz has got a digital-only PS5. You've said if you put the disc in and download it, that way it should upgrade automatically.
Yeah,
You're saying download it to the PS4, which it would do. He's got a PS5, it's digital only, so he can't put the disc in it. So that's what we're saying. We're saying is there a way you can prove to the PlayStation 4 that he owns it because he can't put the disc in.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the disc at home, but I can't do anything. I mean, still got my PlayStation 4.
But should your PS Store already know you've got it because you've had to because when you put Red Dead in, you have to update it and put downloads in it anyway.
Yeah.
So surely it must already know.
You still have to buy it on the store, though.
Yeah, I'd have to.
Why are you creating problems?
I'm
You
telling
couldn't even
you
buy a fan.
hard facts.
All right.
Michael says, do you have any superstitions before watching Everton?
No.
No.
Not
Yeah,
one.
don't predict us.
I
to
do
win for
touch
me.
wood a lot when commentators go, "Oh, this fella's coming off the bench and he hasn't scored for 4.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, here
The
we
only
go.
thing I do is when I go to the match, I try to use the same turnstile.
Do you?
Try to, yeah.
Fair enough. AJ No says, I've started my Marvel movies again and I'm watching them in order of when they're bases. I reckon it's when they're released. Oh, hang on, no. When they're based.
No.
So Captain America's first.
No.
Captain Marvel's second.
No.
If you've already watched them in proper order.
No. It doesn't matter. I'm not bothered. It doesn't matter. You watch them in the order they get brought in. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Give the video a thumbs up if you're watching live stream. Over 625. You're watching 157 likes. Come on, guys. Little thumbs up. Why not? Subscribe if you haven't. Don't forget, download the Last Fan Standing app if you like football quizzes as well. Okay,
when using PS5 console, you may have the option to upgrade the disc or digital PS4 game to the digital PS5 version, depending on the game. The upgrade may occur at no additional cost, may occur a purchase, and may be available for a limited time as the internet connection is. Upgrade an eligible PS4 game on disc on a PS5 console with that's with a disc drive.
Yeah.
Upgrade the eligible PS4 digital game with a disc drive. Oh.
Okay.
You can't change a disc to digital copy because you've not bought it on PlayStation.
Lil Bimbo says George was so hot back in the days he could have had a baby.
Fair enough.
Maybe he could have done. Phil McDonald says Baz would be dressed as an orange club. No, I wouldn't, mate. I couldn't even.
Oh, imagine.
Someone said to me before, Baz, would you eat orange clubs for a certain amount of time if Everton either won the Champions League or yes, if it got us in the Champions League and we got money from it, but I wouldn't want it. The thought of it does make me go. Joshua Creedy says thoughts on Bezic and Broadhead being in the 25-man squad. Sensible by the club, maybe.
Alan Partridge, GIF. Throw my hands up.
They're literally just there because so we're covered if we have an injury.
They get paid by Everton.
That's it, and they get paid to play football, so we may as well. Sebastian Jackson says Google cup-sided definition says in beating Tottenham 2-0. Okay. Matt Prettyman says Ola from Baltimore, Davies masterclass. I feel it.
Big TD.
There you go. Scintillating Skills said, just watched all the Herbie movies recently. Which one is your favourite? Mine is the 1968.
What order did you watch them in?
Crazy movie from over 50.
Herbie's
boss.
I loved when I was a kid. I loved all Herbie films. Any like Dean Jones was in Dean Jones. You'll never have heard of Dean Jones, right? But he was in everything, all the Disney films when you were a kid. Because Disney used to just make films after films after films, right? They weren't like big blockbusters. They were like films that when I was a kid growing up, they were always on in the summer holidays.
Yeah.
So you had like Herbie.
Herbie Goes Bananas.
Blackbeard's Ghost, which I love. Peter Ustinov, I love it. Blackbeard's Ghost is amazing. It's amazing. It's about Dean Jones breaks this curse of Blackbeard's Ghost, and it's dead stupid and it's funny and it's just like these were Disney films in the old days. People would be signed up on long contract. Tingo had a deal in the 60s and 70s when Kurt Russell had a deal when he was a kid. He made loads of films for Disney. And you had like the original like Freaky Friday and all these films. They used to make they weren't made to be they were like matinee films.
Yeah.
They were like Saturday afternoon matinee films. So kids are going, probably tax write-offs as well. And Dean Jones was in loads, and I used to love them. Herbie Goes Bananas and Herbie Monaco and all these were brilliant. They just don't make the equivalent of now would be like High School Musical. And like the Jonas Brothers ones, and what was the other one?
Camp Rock and
Camp
all
Rock and all. That's what they were the equivalent. And like anything that are like streaming films now, things that go on Netflix, straight to Netflix and stuff like that, they were like the equivalent back in the day. You'd go to pictures, I imagine, in like the 60s and 70s, and you'd pay probably £1 or a couple of pounds, and it'd be on at like 12 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. And then on the night time, you'd have something a little bit. It was to get kids into cinemas, basically, because in the night time, it would be like something they wouldn't be allowed to watch. It was different times, obviously.
Zach Smart said to me, you can get a code. I did it. You just e-contactless game. All right, interesting then. Interesting. Andrew Higgins says, a Toffee TV, tonight's game is winnable. Going to need to come out attacking, and Dom needs to be prepared to work for the ball instead of waiting for it to come to him. Have every faith in the team. Anthony Young says, hey fellas, what do you reckon on U2's Where the Streets Has No Name? I'm not a U2 fan.
The guitar riffs.
The video is amazing. The video is amazing. It's in LA. It's in LA, I believe, and they did it on top of a hotel. And they did it 3 times, and they leaked it to a local radio station. And they said they never leaked it, but thousands of people come on the streets. The video's amazing, and and it's like when they first got going, and there's just thousands of people on the street, and the police are there, and they got loads of trouble. The police had to come up and shut it down. They did it 3 times. It was like a free gig of this one song, and yeah, it's brilliant. The whole video's brilliant. They're clever. It's like a flash mob almost. Very, very clever.
Okay. J Max says Club Tropicana drinks are free. They certainly are. They certainly
It's a great song. It's just not the best song. But it's not a bad song. It's a great song.
Yeah,
and it's still dead clever to this day. And the video's dead clever as well.
Flying off Ibiza. What a place.
There's enough for everyone.
Everton,
I'm here today.
Let's take your bags and leave tonight. That's what I said. Everton Blues 1878 says, because the FA Cup draw is rigged, I bet we will get Man United in the quarterfinals at Goodison. Well, that'll mean we've got through. I'll take that.
I think United will get City.
Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. Zach Smart contacted game and they give him a code. Nice one, Zach. Don Robbio 30 XI says, can either of you do a Schwarzenegger impersonation?
Get to the chopper.
I'll be back. Down. Hayden Blakely says, come on, Toffies.
It's not a tumour.
This is for you, Ned. Out of Johnny Marr, Noel Gallagher and John Squire, who's the better guitarist?
John Squire.
Okay.
Who's John Squire?
From Stone Roses.
Oh.
All right, there you go. Sound.
Fair enough.
But John Squire was probably influenced, and Noel Gallagher was probably influenced by Johnny Marr. But Johnny Marr,
of course he was.
Johnny Marr was unbelievable for an age at like. Put it this way, he wrote This Charming Man when he was about 16, the riff, and it was unbelievable. So.
And now he hates Morrissey, which is amazing as well.
But I prefer John Squire.
Zach Smart says Godfrey has to play. He does. Wormy Spoons says like Tom Cruise, dun 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 da 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 da. Okay. Phil Young says firing them in tonight. Dom firing them in tonight. Come on, you Blues. Zach says Mina has to play. Anthony Young says we want nothing but the Blues. There you go. That's just skated off. Uncle Booker's class. That's some GDI. Blue Nose Dublin says Pool fans calling for Klopp out during the week. Hilarious. It won't be normal ones, will it? Just be mad ones. Jordan Parr says, what are your thoughts on the silver race?
What?
I don't know what that is.
What's a silver race?
Don't
Probably
know.
the trophy race, probably.
I know. Mark Smith says, listening from La Mesa, Colombia, by a pool, having a few scoops before the game. Is right, Mark.
Fair play to you.
Enjoy, mate. The weather will be nice in there. It's freezing here. Devon Paul says, watching from Jamaica. I swear I'm the only fan in Jamaica. But you're a fan, Devon, and that's all that matters. So, nice one. Apple 2 says, who does the best Carragher, Yelp, Baz or Ped? It'll be Ped. Ped is like Carragher. You can channel an inner Jamie. You
say that, and just don't really approve of that at all. I don't think I've ever even heard your character just even start. So it's very hard to prove that at this particular stage of
I can't say you do the better character. There's no.
That's what I'm saying. I've never heard your character, so I don't know. It's more to do with how long you leave when you're saying words.
Fair enough. Young Evertonians been binge watching Rockies recently and wondering which one is both of your favourites. I think Rocky 2 is better than Rocky.
I was going to say Rocky 2.
Originally, because obviously Rocky 2. But I think Rocky 3 with Mr. T, Clubber Lang is brilliant.
That's Rocky 3.
That's Rocky 3. Don't start. Don't even start.
Dolph Lundgren, Ivan Drago's Rocky 4.
Don't even start without
Tommy, the Great White Hope's Rocky 5.
Yeah, that's terrible.
So
don't start. Sad. I mean, what actually happened to Tommy died of AIDS. His story is unbelievable. Rocky 2 is probably the best Rocky in terms of story. Rocky 4 is my favourite Rocky. It's like it brings all the Rockies together.
Yeah.
Like it's like in a slightly more modern age, and you've got the idea of the Cold War, and then they fight on Christmas Day, and it's like brings them all together, and like Dolph Lundgren had actually been getting used by the state. So it's a propaganda thing about Russia and the Cold War and how even the people didn't want it. But Rocky 2 is probably the best one. Rocky 1's brilliant as well. I know it doesn't end like how you'd want it to end, but it's more realistic. And don't forget, Sylvester Stallone wrote those films as well. People often just look at him and go, "Oh, he played Rocky and stupid." He wrote those films. He wrote most of those films.
He wrote them.
He got an Oscar for it as well, didn't he? I'm sure he got an Oscar.
He was skinned, and he wrote them, and he was looking for people to make the films and act.
Yeah.
And then no one would do it, so he said, "I'll do it myself." And then
Yeah, just seen that. Yeah.
No, that's off there.
No. But he wrote those, and people often think Sylvester. So what Sylvester Stallone did, he did it for. It's also. Have you watched Rambo, the original one? It's not even called Rambo.
No,
First Blood.
I never
It's amazing.
Rambo.
It's amazing because it's not about. See, what happened was, and I was the same as this. When you get to like Rambo 3, it's horrendous. Rambo gets called back to go to Afghanistan to like so the first one is about him coming back to America, right?
John Rambo.
And he's got post-traumatic syndrome, right? So basically what happens is he goes, it's set in America, and what happens, he comes back and he's getting all these flashbacks of being in Vietnam. And this like local sheriff comes after him because he'd caused a little bit of trouble. And it's basically him living in the woods, terrified of what happened to him in Vietnam, while the sheriff comes after him. And it's post-traumatic syndrome, and it's an amazing film. And honestly, it's got so many layers. And then what happens, and this is what happens with Rocky as well, it gets distorted. So it becomes a caricature of the original thing. And it happens in Rocky as well, where in the original one, it's about this fella who's just dead tough. He can't box, but he's dead tough. And the Dingo comes along, doesn't he? And he's like, I need someone to fight. And they're like, well, let's get a chump. Let's get a chump to fight. And by the time you get to like, so he just about beats him, doesn't he? But by the time you get to like Rocky 4, that's what's happened to Rocky 3, sorry. Clubber Lang's the first fella who's ever fought who's not a chump. And that's why he's fumes with Mickey. And Mickey's like, is it real? You know, and when he's running on the beach with Dingo, and he's like, you've never had to fight anybody.
But Mickey says to him, didn't he? They were 8 bums.
He
never
says,
fought anyone.
But that's what happens in the first one. He's the bum. And it turns out that he's not a bum. He's actually got something. And then it becomes like the character of him. And like his thunder lips and all that kind
civilized.
So and then the fifth one, but it's like that in Rambo in the first one. It's about a fella who's hard as nails, but he's got mental health problems. And you see that in the film. But by the time you get to the third one, he's fighting the whole of like the Russian army in Afghanistan, and it's just nonsense.
I watched one when he was older, and he was on this boat, and
nonsense.
He has a crossbow, and it's like,
but if you go back to the first one, right? You watch that first one; it's got nothing to do with that. It's about a fella who's got mental health problems because of Vietnam War, because of what he's seen, and it's so good. And you can say that about the Rocky films as well. They lose their way, but then when he does Rocky Balboa, that's actually really good as well. And then when it comes back to Creed Creed's really good as well. And obviously we've got the links with that because of Tony Bellion, because it was Goodison, and obviously we're both in it. But like, yeah, it's, you could say the same for Police Academy as well.
What about Over the Top?
Terrible film.
Oh, it's class.
No,
Terrible
that's
film.
a terrible
Brilliant.
film.
Terrible film. Absolutely terrible film. I'd say the best thing Sylvester Stallone did, apart from away from Rocky, would be, people probably say the Expendables. I'm trying to think what else he did.
The what was it? Breakout or Prison Break, whatever it was called.
Tango and Cash. I'm telling you.
Bryce Jackson says if we win this, we can win the full thing.
Yeah.
Trash 80 said, does Gordon play for Preston yet? Yeah, he played at the weekend and was decent. Played 67 minutes, I think. Jordan Parr says Ruby Silva, the keeper, he's 27. Yeah. I know he's out of contract in the summer. I thought he's 26, out of contract in the summer, isn't he? Contract at Granada. Scintillating Skills says, I actually think Carragher is the best pundit. Carragher's very good when it's nothing to do with Liverpool. The problem is Sky have allowed him to just commentate on Liverpool games, which is mad, in my opinion. But same with Gary Neville, I don't think he should be anywhere near a Manchester United game.
Yeah.
Anywhere
no,
near it.
They should swap.
Yeah.
They should swap. Who is your daddy and what does he do?
There you go, someone's, yeah, I mean, that's in the comments there somewhere.
Exactly.
Where are we?
Where are you?
Sabbath Rick says Joe Hart is starting tonight, apparently, for Spurs. I'll say nothing, he'll probably have a stormer. Yeah. Loads of people asking about Hammers. I'll be very surprised if Hammers plays, but who knows? The team will be out and what?
Copland is a very good film, by the way. Copland is a great film because it helped. It was like that old, like, amalgamation of like everything he'd been. So that's a really good film. When he like goes into De Niro, he's like, "Hey, you had your chance and you blew it." It's brilliant. Neither of you have seen Copland, have you? I can tell.
I've seen bits of it. I never watched it through, and it was.
Sylvester Stallone's a small time cop, right, in a little town in New Jersey, and the cop, where he's the cop, or the sheriff. Everyone who lives there is police, but from New York, but they're all on the take. So they treat him like he's an absolute mug, like, but at some point, he has to decide whether he's going to be like a real policeman, or he's going to keep letting these policemen just like, they don't like push him around, but they do. But he's like the sheriff, and it's internal affairs basically start investigating all these police because they're into all kinds. They've built this town on like all the money that they've been given, and he has to decide whether he's going to be a proper policeman or he's just, because bad things start happening. There's a lad in it who becomes like everyone's looking for him because he's like a grass and stuff, and it's dead good. It's like there's loads of good. I think Harvey Keitel's in it, and Ray Liotta's in it as well.
Actor. What two actors?
Yeah.
Rogue Hallahan says Carl Weathers was class and made them films.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
John F says First Blood, the book, Rambo kills himself.
Yeah, well, see, I could imagine that because he is so torn. And at the end of it, it's only because something happens something happens to save him, but he doesn't save himself. Something else saves him. I mean, you should have had longer, but I don't want to ruin it because Ned's a young lad and I want him to watch it because it's a great film. But it's more like he's in such a bad way. It's pure
post-traumatic stuff.
The film's so ahead of its
time.
And also, there was this. I remember growing up. And don't forget, we always have this thing, don't we, where it's like so after the Second World War, you have Second World War films, then you have the Vietnam films, and it made it look like America was amazing. And then you started getting these films that started showing that Vietnam wasn't actually good. Started with Platoon, Oliver Stone.
Yeah.
And you start seeing that actually, because Oliver Stone's amazing, because what he does is he pokes holes in America all the time. I was watching Snowden last night, and obviously, if you've watched JFK, he loves poking holes in the American dream because he's just like, and there's a series called the Untold History of America. It's like a 10-part series, and he wrote and directed it, and it's amazing. Okay. It makes America, if you watch it, look like the Third Reich. Honestly, he loves poking holes in America. So he started it, and honestly, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Okay. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you're watching. Thank you. Subscribe if you haven't. And download Last Fan Standing.
Do download fast. If you like quizzes,
you like quizzes.
I'll explain it to you, right? 8 questions. First question, dead easy. Second question, a little bit harder till you get to 8. Basically, if you get one wrong, you're out. You're out. You're out of there. And it's whoever finishes it gets all the points. And basically, like any app, I'm not going to lie to you, it's a free app. There are in-app purchases that you don't have to buy. There are adverts that you can watch, like with the games, to get the points as well. And you can buy yourself back into the competition by
you can win stuff and everything.
But there are things you can win. You can win more points. And as the app grows, because we helped design this app at the bottom floor. We helped design it and make it better.
There's all clubs that represent.
There's other clubs in it as well. So even if you want to go, you know what, it comes
2-0
up.
to City, Sterling.
It pops up on the app. In 5 minutes, there's an Everton app quiz. In 5 minutes, there's a Liverpool one. And it's fan channel. So Liverpool's is done by like the Anfield app, and there's different clubs are doing it, and it's growing all the time. And we've started off quite slow, and we're going to start upping it now. So
it's good.
Get it. Just Last Fan Standing. It's a free app. As I said, you don't have to ever pay for a quiz.
But you can go, if you like quizzes, it's worth having a go and test your knowledge. Why?
But they come up live as well. So what we're going to start doing is we're going to start doing the quiz at say 6 o'clock on a Wednesday night. One of our quizzes. So we'll tell you all the way through. Go out and then
it's in the app. We won't be doing it here.
Yeah, we don't do it live. We do the quiz. So we do the quiz. So when it comes up 6 o'clock, we're doing the quiz. So we've already recorded it, obviously. And that's the same for all the quizzes. They're done in video, real-time video. So
it's interesting.
Definitely get it. Last Fan Standing.
D.I. Lynch says, Liverpool fan here, grew up on County Road. Good luck tonight, boys. We'd love to see Everton win the FA Cup and play in Europe next year. Greater Merseyside powerhouse. Cheers, mate.
Fair dues.
Event XXX Horizon says Sylvester Stallone should replace Pickford in goal. He was awesome in The Great Escape. He was good in The Great Escape.
I mean, he was never in The Great Escape. He was in Escape to Victory.
I mean, he might have been great in Great Escape with Steve McQueen. We don't know. Ben James says, looking forward to the game in snowy Stoke-on-Trent. Can't wait to see my mate after
3-0
lockdown.
City.
Is it? Yeah. Whose uncle is Inchy and signed stuff for me. One of my favourite players when I was younger. I spoke to Aidan Heath last week. He is doing well over in Minis.
Tell him we need some nice tops.
Some Minnesota stuff.
Yeah, some zip tops.
Okay, where are we? I think when he touches it goes fast. Yeah, Phil McDonald 3-0. Gabriel Jesus. David Sullivan says one of the best Vietnam films is The Boys from Company C. File TV says Olsen needs to play. He's steady and commanding. What are your thoughts? I think Olsen will play tonight. I think he'll play. I don't. Even if Pickford was fit, I don't understand why you would rush him back into this anyway. No. If you were gonna play him,
No, you give him to the weekend, wouldn't you? You would give him to the weekend to get back.
Always. But.
Right, 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
Finishing at 5 more minutes. We'll do till 6:45 and then we're finishing. Let other people take over then.
Take over?
Well, you know what I mean. Everton have got their YouTube thing, haven't they? So they can, go and get your tea and get ready for the match.
Yeah.
For the team news at 7:15.
That is nonsense what Kane said, by the way.
I didn't read what Kane said.
That's nonsense. Thoughts on German football from Linus? I love it. I think it's brilliant. I think it's like any kind of football. It's much better when the fans are in the stadium. Let's have it right. But I absolutely love German football. And in fact, I cannot wait till we can move around again without, till things get back to normal so that we can go back to Germany, which we will be doing. Hopefully, maybe in a year's time, if things are a bit more normal. Because I'd love to go. We're going to go back to Germany and do what we did a couple of years ago and take in a couple of games over a couple of days, and I'll try and see if I can eat 3/4 of that giant pizza next time. And
I can't see it.
No, I can't see it either.
Dortmund in the standing zone would be class, wouldn't it?
Done it, mate.
Yeah, we done it.
The yellow wall.
We did.
We were at the back of the yellow wall. Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. Dortmund. I mean, I know some people have issue with Dortmund removing that song that their fans don't even like. It's literally...
Loads of their fans said they didn't
The fans hate it. The ultras hate it. It's just literally a tourist thing to try to... taking that away, Dortmund are my favourite team, so I love them.
The fans are class, aren't they?
Well, it's just the whole thing was great, but then we went to Dusseldorf on the Saturday, and that stadium was 54,000. It was brilliant. And the game was great.
And
absolutely
they
brilliant.
had glasses for your
Amazing.
beer, right, with a arm. And what happens is all the arms slotted into each other. So it had a hole at the top, and then it had a spout with and then so you could, there was a fella, he had, I swear, he had 6 pints in each hand.
Did he?
But all he needed was 2 hands. It's amazing. And also when you're on the yellow wall, you don't move off it. So the people come round with the beers. So you stay there for an hour before the game because you don't want to lose your space. And that gets the atmosphere going. And then people bring the beer to you, and it was amazing.
Oh, it's amazing.
It was amazing.
The whole thing was amazing after the match.
And do you know what was even more amazing? I was filming loads of it, because obviously I was filming it to make a video, and people were like, don't do that here, mate. Like, they were literally telling me you don't. And I was going, no, I'm making a documentary, mate. And they were like, we don't do that. Because they were basically saying to us, we don't want tourists on here. They were like looking at me going, and that's where if I went
that
again,
was in Dortmund,
I'd be like that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't bring my...
Dortmund.
Because they were basically saying, we don't do tourists on here. This is supposed to be for our
Dusseldorf was better.
Yeah, because
but Dortmund they didn't. In fact, when we met...
Well, we sat down. We sat at the
yeah,
other
we
end.
were fine. Yeah, the ultras
were at the other end.
But when we met, I forgot his name now, not Sebastian. Was it that kid's name we met the next day? He was great. Was it Sebastian? We met him anyway.
In Dortmund, the fan
liaison, he was great.
Yeah,
we met him the next day and he was saying they'd had meetings because too many tourists are there giving it all that and doing this. Because the fans are saying it's not helping the team because you want you to sing. So we were like singing and everything in the end because you just become part of it. It was brilliant. They won the game 3-2. Sancho played. Sancho scored actually, didn't he? It was great.
Sancho!
It was boss. Unbelievable experience. Yeah. Unbelievable. And next time we go, we're going in that bar underneath the... We're not getting off.
So you remember we were going in the pit?
No, we're going in the bar where...
No, because he even said to us, we had access anywhere we wanted, and they were like... Because they have the pit, which is where all the proper lunatics go, and then the rest of the yellow wall. And they were like, you can go in there. And we were like, no, we're not going in there.
That's theirs.
That's definitely somewhere we're not going. No. And that's why we went quite high to the back, so we could...
Great though, wasn't it? We got in, we had to... Because it's standing, you have to be in there 2 hours before. But you can bevy there.
Yeah.
And what happens is you're standing, you're just talking and people are around, everyone's, and then the atmosphere is cranking up and cranking up and and then by kick-off time, it's electric. Yeah. And then the teams come out, it's unbelievable. And you're having a bevy.
Everyone's had a couple of bevies. So
it's amazing.
Around, and you're not getting that person
you can't even take a can into the stands at Guitarists.
And you're not getting that person who walks in at 3:05 and annoys everybody, and you're not sitting down because everyone's up.
Everyone's standing.
Everyone's up.
It was brilliant, honestly. It was one of the best experiences I've ever had. Football-wise, amazing. Can't wait to go back.
And he didn't kick it out afterwards?
No.
Either ground. This is what I keep saying about Everton.
Dusseldorf.
They don't kick...
We were there an hour after it.
We were for an hour. We walked around to the other end and we went on their terrace and
I got
stood there.
Some
two fellas.
Man and woman tried to take me home.
Yeah, two.
They did?
They did, honestly. They were like, you come home with
They
that.
said, are you married? Why are you married? And started, and then they were like, oh, what are you? And then 2 fellas come and he was laughing his head off taking pictures. These 2 fellas dressed as knights.
Well, these 2 gay fellas.
Yeah, but they were dressed as
they were dressed as they had all makeup on and they loved...
They were made up.
The Germans must just love little English fellas. I don't know what it is. They just must love it. Must have probably intimidated by me. But they just must love little English. Like, you could be my little teddy bear. What is your name?
Right,
Baz.
Everton was...
Is that short for Basil?
All right, let's move on. Everton was first. Says, all right, lads, hope you are both well. I'm flying to Cyprus on Sunday on a 4-month RAF tour, so we'll be watching my first Everton game versus Fulham in the roasting Middle Eastern heat. Up the Toffies. Good luck, mate. Stay safe. And keep watching us, obviously, from there as well, if you want. Sandra
probably need to become a patron there, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
I'd think.
I would say so.
Think.
And I'd probably get the base to do it as well, and all download last fan stand, and that's what I'd do. Stuart says, Ped, why do you have to work with that copite who spits every other word like Carragher?
Because, right, someone pays me to do it, and therefore I do it. Do you know what I mean? And also, it's fun as well. It's fun. Not everybody is like... You know, we see all the videos and everything, and we all have the vitriol and all that. But you turn the camera off and some people are just a little bit different. Then, like Chris Pajak, everyone hates Chris Pajak. He's dead sound.
Yeah,
Lovely lad.
great lad.
Does everything for us. Do anything for us, that lad. In front of the camera, he's a bit of a knobhead. Right? James is, he's blah, 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 blah. But, listen, we've known James for a while. He used to come in here all the time. He's a typical Scouse, like 19-year-old lad who's blah, 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 blah. But, you know. Yeah. And I also get to rip the piss out of him as well.
Yeah.
Because he knows very little about like life and football. So there you go. It's not. There's others who are just bad knobheads, but when they are, you stay away from them. But most, you know, a lot of people just play to the cameras as you'd expect.
Yeah. What can you do? Stephen Bailey says, take your beer with you. Oh, Phil McDonald says, Baz, you little teddy bear. Nice one. Nice one for that, mate.
Nicholas Caldwell sent us an email 10 minutes ago. I don't know why he sent an email, but he said, Baz, did you play 270 times for Wrexham? There is a Barry Jones in the Mickey Thomas testimonial programme. I mean...
No, said I play...
No, but I think he thinks that's who you are.
I'm not Barry Jones. Yeah, I played through. No, I didn't play for Wrexham. In fact, I played at Wrexham for Merseyside against Chris Armstrong, who played for Wrexham and obviously went on to play in the Premier League for Crystal Palace. We won 3-1. I scored 2. He didn't score. I outshone him. But no, we played that night. Chris Armstrong. I was surprised when he got a move, but he was he loved the goal against Everton, by the way, didn't he? For Palace and Spurs. Yeah. No, but I didn't play 270 games for
when Ron Node said that Palace were bigger than Everton.
Yeah.
Because we tried to buy him.
Yeah, definitely. Mike Nicholson says, can't bear the thoughts of Carragher, McManaman or meowing commentating tonight. I'm sure that means Keown. Scowie rather says, James Redmond went to my school in Crosby and his accent has certainly changed. Well, he will ham it up, won't he? Because people give him money to be like that, so we will ham it up. Patrick McLaughlin says, you guys worried at all after Uncle Alice was blacklisted by UK Parliament for being involved?
He wasn't blacklisted.
He hasn't been blacklisted. Lad zero.
Whatsoever.
No, I know.
The Tory government take more money off Russia than Everton or Arsenal ever did. So don't pay any... What they said was that they were going to try and stop Everton and Chelsea being involved in, like, basically PR abroad. They would stop. Like, how much PR do Everton get involved in abroad anyway? It's a load. And the money that the Tories have took off Russian donors. Half of London is owned by Russian oligarchs. So don't ever think that they're going to stop taking money.
No, someone's just decided that that's a good thing to go with.
Yeah.
Someone, I've got to be in the bonnet. It's a load of nonsense.
Don't forget, this is a government that takes money off Saudi Arabia.
Knowing what it does.
For knowing what they do. At the end of the day...
Loads of them do it.
Money talks. Money talks.
And always will. So there you go. Don't worry about it. Patrick also says, boss content, by the way, lads, up the Toffies. Mike Nicholson says, Everton better be up for this tonight. Need to be consistent. I'm sure we will. Jordan Parr says, if we could get any player, who would it be realistic? Leon Bailey from Leverkusen. Where are we? File TV. I'm not going to name the all-time Everton 11 when we're about to finish, mate. Yeah. End the story. Graham Cunningham says Andy Gray. King Arthur says, did your leg heal after your broken leg? How is it? Yeah, it took me about
20 years ago.
Yeah, it took me about 8 months really to get over it, to get back to normal. But then, yeah, it was sound after that, mate. It was sound.
Come on, let's finish.
Yeah. My ankle ligament injury a bit later on in my career was the one that was difficult. Glenn Watson says, Ped and Baz, you own a biscuit tin. I do own a biscuit tin. That was bought for me.
We should have a biscuit tin.
And it's got as like ginger nuts in or whatever.
We should have a biscuit tin to keep them fresh.
Yeah, definitely. Right, the pair of us are wriggling now. It normally means we want to go to the toilet. So, listen, enjoy the match. Thank you very much. Give the video a thumbs up before you go. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Download Last Fan Standing.
And also, don't forget that I'll be live straight after the match, so make sure you want the intermatch reaction.
Check that out.
I will be live on YouTube as well. Baz's videos will follow after that, and we'll see you later. Goodbye!